Everything you've been taught about success may have been backwards. You work hard, follow the rules, wait your turn, and still feel like you're chasing something that keeps slipping away. But what if the real enemy isn't outside? What if the true battle is happening inside your brain, quietly run by old limiting beliefs that were never yours to begin with? You've been unknowingly trapped in a mental script written by others, parents, teachers, society, and every decision. You make echoes that programming. But here's the shocking truth. The game can be flipped instantly. The power to shift your vibration, rewrite your story, and trigger real transformation is already within you. And trust me, once you understand how these hidden patterns control your reality, you'll never look at your life the same way again. That's exactly why you should hit that subscribe button right now, so you don't miss the coming breakthroughs that could finally unlock the changes you've been searching for. Because what you're about to learn might just break the very code that's been holding you back all this time. Imagine that everything you call reality is just a carefully written script. From an early age, you've been given a script: what's right, what's wrong, what you can and can't do. And the most curious thing, your brain has accepted everything without question. What you consider to be limits may just be a paragraph in that script that someone has put in your head. But what if that script could be edited? Those invisible rules you follow, the so-called absolute truths, are more often than not just limiting beliefs programmed into you. Like an actor who doesn't even realize he's following lines from an old script, you live inside a story written by others. And the cruelest thing, most people never realize that these lines can be rewritten. But everything changes when you start to notice the cracks in that script. Transformation begins when you realize that these barriers are not concrete walls, but smoke screens. Think of a video game. You receive a mission, but there are hidden codes that can change the game completely. The question is, will you continue in automatic mode, or will you discover the secret commands? Because the moment someone realizes that they can change the rules, that's when the real changes happen. Most people don't even realize they're holding the controller. They sit in front of life's screen thinking the game plays itself, trapped by old limiting beliefs, whispering, "You have no choice." But what if I told you the controller was in your hands this whole time? Your brain has simply been wired to believe you're powerless. The truth, you can press start any time you want. Imagine you've been walking a path paved by others, with walls built from fear, doubt, and outdated rules. Those walls only exist because your vibration keeps resonating with those old patterns. But the moment you shift your frequency even slightly, cracks begin to form. Suddenly, doors you never saw before start to appear. And that's when transformation quietly sneaks in. Now, I know it sounds almost too simple, but real changes often start with tiny mental shifts, like realizing you don't have to accept that toxic job, or that you're allowed to dream bigger than your parents ever did. The moment you open that door, you'll see that many of your limits were just illusions. But how did these beliefs get there in the first place? That's where things get even more fascinating. From the moment you're born, your brain becomes a sponge, soaking up every word, gesture, and rule thrown your way. Family, teachers, culture, they all feed you their version of truth. These aren't universal facts. They're carefully packaged limiting beliefs disguised as reality. And since repetition wires the mind, these beliefs get baked into your operating system before you even know it. Think about how many times you've heard phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "People like us don't get rich." These statements are not facts, they're programs. The vibration of these ideas embeds itself so deeply that your choices, behaviors, and even your expectations start to dance to their tune. But the real kicker, you're allowed to uninstall them. Let's say someone grows up hearing, "You're not smart enough for business." That person may never even attempt entrepreneurship, not because they're incapable, but because that old program silently runs in the background. The transformation begins when you recognize that these voices aren't your own. They belong to scared people who passed on their fears like a family heirloom. Here's a practical move. Grab a notebook and write down every rule you've accepted about your life. I can't start over at my age. I'm bad with money. I'm not creative. Now ask yourself, who put those ideas there? Challenge each one like a lawyer cross-examining a shaky witness. This is where the first real changes ignite. But even when you identify these limiting scripts, why does your mind keep replaying them? The answer lies inside the way your brain filters reality itself. And that's where we're heading next. Your brain isn't just a passive observer. It's an editor. It filters millions of bits of information every second, deciding what to let in based on the story you believe. This powerful filter is called the reticular activating system, and it operates directly off your limiting beliefs. If you believe life is hard, your brain will constantly highlight obstacles to validate that narrative. It's like shopping for a red car. Suddenly, you see red cars everywhere, not because there are more of them, but because your brain is now tuned into that frequency. The same happens with opportunity, love, success, or failure. Your vibration determines what your filter hunts for in the world. Change the belief, and you change the filter. Let's take someone who believes there are no good jobs. They'll scroll past promising job listings without even noticing. But someone who believes great opportunities are everywhere starts seeing chances others overlook. This is the subtle power of mental transformation. Your reality is simply reflecting what your mind is tuned to see. Practical example. Every morning, write 3 things you're excited about achieving. This primes your brain to search for related opportunities throughout the day. Over time, you'll notice small changes, unexpected conversations, new contacts, random coincidences that seem oddly helpful. This isn't magic, it's neuroscience combined with your vibration shifting. If your reality feels stuck, it's not because nothing's changing out there, it's because your internal filter keeps replaying the same movie. But what if you could actively reprogram these filters? What if there's a method to hack your own mind and rewrite the entire script you live by? Reprogramming your brain isn't just wishful thinking, it's backed by science. Neuro proves that your neural pathways are flexible, constantly rewiring based on repeated thoughts and behaviors. When you consciously challenge a limiting belief, you begin to carve out new mental highways. With practice, these new routes become your default operating system. Let's say you grew up believing, "I'm terrible with money." You can start feeding your brain with new evidence, track small financial wins, read books like The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, or follow experts like Warren Buffett. These real-world inputs begin to overwrite the old data, reshaping your financial vibration one thought at a time. Visualization is another powerful tool. Close your eyes daily and vividly picture the transformation you desire, not just abstract dreams, but specific scenes. Receiving that promotion, seeing your bank balance rise, feeling confident in meetings. The more detailed, the more your brain accepts it as familiar, reducing resistance to real-world actions. Affirmations. They work, but only if paired with evidence. Saying "I am wealthy" means little if your brain sees unpaid bills. However, combining affirmations with measurable progress gives your mind proof that changes are happening. Even a $10 saving habit can serve as evidence that you're becoming financially disciplined. Journaling can serve as your daily reprogramming lab. Write down every tiny victory, every breakthrough, every moment you handled a situation better than before. Over weeks, you'll see a documented trail of your evolving vibration. Your brain starts recognizing these patterns, making the new beliefs feel natural. But even with this new wiring in place, what's actually shaping the reality you experience every single day? The answer is simpler and far more powerful than most people ever realize. Here's the hidden truth most people never grasp. Your reality isn't built on your desires, it's built on your attention. Whatever your brain focuses on expands. If your mind constantly scans for problems, you'll find endless proof that life is hard. That's not bad luck, it's your limiting beliefs pulling the strings behind the scenes. Imagine 2 people entering the same room. One sees opportunities, the other sees threats. Same environment, but different experiences, because their vibration tunes into distinct frequencies. It's like listening to a radio station. You only hear what you're dialed into. Shift the station, and the entire soundtrack of your life changes. Want real-life proof? Look at entrepreneurs who spot gaps in the market where others see dead ends. Jeff Bezos saw books selling online when most saw logistical nightmares. Elon Musk saw private space travel where governments failed. Their brain focused on possibilities, not limitations. Their attention shaped multi-billion-dollar transformations. You can train your mind the same way. Start by asking better questions each morning. What opportunities can I spot today? Or who can I help today? These questions redirect your brain's attention toward growth, forcing subtle yet powerful changes in your daily experience. The answers will start showing up often faster than you expect. But beware, attention is like sunlight. It nourishes whatever it shines on, whether weeds or flowers. If you keep feeding drama, fear, and scarcity, that's what grows. Your vibration responds automatically. That's why controlling attention isn't just a mindset trick, it's your master key to reality itself. Now, if attention shapes your reality, what exactly determines the quality of the vibration you're broadcasting to the universe? Let's go deeper, because this part will completely flip how you see your everyday emotions. Everything in this universe, including you, operates on frequency. Your emotions aren't just feelings, they're signals that tune your vibration. Think of your brain as a transmitter, constantly broadcasting your emotional state outward. That's why a person vibrating in gratitude attracts more to be grateful for, while someone vibrating in fear seems trapped in endless setbacks. Ever notice how some people seem to magnetically attract success? It's not luck, they're consistent. Emotional vibration creates an invisible pull. When you feel abundant, you unconsciously open doors, smile more, take bold actions, and connect with people who mirror that energy. Your limiting beliefs can't survive long in the presence of sustained positive emotions. Let's say you wake up feeling overwhelmed by debt. If you stay trapped in that vibration, your brain only notices more bills, late fees, and financial stress. But if you train yourself to shift toward gratitude, even for small wins like paying a bill on time, you start rewiring your emotional frequency. That tiny shift creates measurable changes in your daily outcomes. Practical exercise. Keep a victory log. Every evening, write 3 things that went right that day. They don't have to be huge: a compliment you received, a task you finished, a moment of clarity. Over time, this conditions your brain to search for wins, not problems. The cumulative effect, a slow but unstoppable transformation in how you feel and what you attract. Visualization amplifies this process. Picture the life you desire in high-definition detail. The sights, sounds, smells, and emotions. Feel it as if it's already happening. The stronger the emotional charge, the more powerful your vibration becomes. This isn't fantasy, it's strategic programming of your subconscious. But even with the perfect emotional state, none of this matters without one brutally simple ingredient. And that's where most people quietly sabotage their entire transformation. Let's get brutally honest. You can meditate, visualize, and recite affirmations all day. But without action, nothing truly moves. Your brain loves comfort. It will always whisper reasons to wait. I'm not ready. I need more information. Or the classic, maybe tomorrow. That's your old limiting beliefs, camouflaging as logic. Action breaks the cycle. The moment you physically move toward your goal, even if it's a tiny step, your vibration shifts. Confidence isn't something you magically feel beforehand, it's something that grows as you act. Like a muscle, momentum builds with repetition, not contemplation. You can't think your way into confidence, you earn it. Take someone wanting to start a business. Reading books and watching YouTube videos is great, but the real transformation happens the moment they make that first uncomfortable sales call, register the business, or create their first product. Each action feeds the brain undeniable proof. I'm becoming the person who does this. Practical tip: adopt what I call the 5-minute rule. When fear kicks in, commit to taking one small action for just 5 minutes. Write 1 paragraph, send 1 email, make 1 call. Often, 5 minutes turns into 30, because momentum overrides hesitation. That tiny window creates powerful changes inside your nervous system. And yes, you will feel unready. Always. That's not a sign to stop. It's evidence that you're stretching your old identity. Every major transformation feels awkward at first, because you're literally upgrading your internal operating system. Your brain is learning new rules while your old beliefs panic. But here's where the real magic unfolds. When you stack these small actions daily, something unexpected starts happening. It looks like luck from the outside, but inside, it's something far more strategic. Most people overestimate the power of huge breakthroughs and underestimate the compound effect of tiny consistent moves. What outsiders call luck is often just the mathematical result of taking more shots. Your brain begins stacking evidence of capability each time you act, slowly dismantling your old limiting beliefs piece by piece. Consider someone networking. For a career change, 1 email might get ignored. 10 might yield a single conversation. 50 opens doors to unexpected opportunities. Each small action raises your vibration and puts you on more people's radars. Eventually, that lucky break appears, but only because the person kept moving. Think of it like planting seeds. Some sprout quickly, others take months, but every action is a seed in your personal transformation garden. As you consistently plant, your brain starts identifying itself as someone who follows through. And that identity change becomes your most powerful internal changes engine. Practical example: set micro missions for yourself daily. One task that takes under 10 minutes but moves you forward. Read one page of a book, comment on a potential client's post, apply for one new opportunity. These may feel small individually, but collectively they create momentum that rewires your vibration towards success. The world rewards momentum. People who are in motion attract collaborators, mentors, and chance encounters that seem too good to be coincidence. But behind every overnight success is usually a long, boring stretch of small, repeated actions that few are watching. That's the true anatomy of transformation. And yet, even with all this knowledge, there's one final fork in the road, one moment of decision that separates those who evolve from those who remain trapped. Are you ready to face it? Here's where most people silently quit. They collect knowledge but never activate it. Information without action is just entertainment. Your brain loves consuming content because it feels productive, but without movement, your limiting beliefs remain unchallenged, comfortably running the show in the background. At some point, you have to draw a line in the sand and say, enough, not tomorrow, not after the next book. Now, that decision creates an immediate vibration shift. Your energy starts broadcasting a new frequency, one of personal ownership. This is where true transformation begins, often in a single, uncomfortable moment. Think about every major change in your life: quitting a toxic job, ending a bad relationship, starting a scary venture. None happened after you felt ready. They happened after you simply decided. The brain only catches up after your first move. Readiness is often an illusion designed to keep you safely stuck. Practical challenge: pick one area of your life today, finances, health, relationships, and commit to a single irreversible action. Open that savings account, apply for that certification, schedule that difficult conversation. These micro decisions become anchors for your evolving identity and trigger rapid changes. You'll feel immediately. The people who change fastest are rarely the smartest. They're simply the ones who dare to act while still feeling the fear. Their vibration aligns with growth because they move before their doubts can shut them down. Each brave choice becomes a building block in their evolving reality. Now that you've walked through these truths, the only question left is, will you remain a passive spectator of your programmed script, or will you rewrite it, starting today? And while you're deciding, don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe, because we're just getting started. So now the question is brutally simple. What are you going to do with this? Will you let these insights become just another video you watched? Or will you finally confront those invisible scripts running your life? Your brain has already been exposed to new possibilities, but exposure means nothing without movement. Every small decision you make from this moment forward either feeds your old limiting beliefs or fuels your new transformation. Are you willing to challenge the stories you've accepted for years? Are you ready to tune your vibration to the life you truly desire? Because nothing changes until you do. Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear what beliefs you're ready to break, starting today. And of course, if you're serious about taking control of your own reality, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. This is only the beginning, and I promise, the next breakthroughs will go even deeper.